Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be reading Hark! It's Me, Ruby Lee by Lisa, Shanahan and Binny. Ruby Lee loves pockets, peaches, puddles and polka dots. She loves humming and hopping and handstands at dusk. She loves tadpoles, gumboots and grand adventures and George Papadopoulos, her best friend in the whole wide world, and helping. Ruby Lee loves helping. On Monday mornings, Miss Majestic Jones chooses special people to do special jobs in her classroom. So far, Ruby Lee has been in charge of the clock, the calendar, and the lunchbox basket. She has been a table helper, a line leader, and a whiteboard cleaner. But she has never ever been a messenger, even though she is the best in her classroom at announcing. "Hark! It's me, Ruby Lee," she says. "Fear not, I'm the bearer of good news." Says George Papadopoulos. "I'm wondering." "Yes," says Ruby Lee, "whether Miss Majestic Jones prefers messengers who are not so good at humming or hopping or handstands." "Oh," says Ruby Lee, "so you mean like all the quiet and still as statue people? Like Sienna and Vienna?" "Exactly," says George Papadopoulos. "Perhaps it would help if I was very quiet and still." "Maybe," says George Papadopoulos. "You could give it a try." "Yippee!" says Ruby Lee, hopping about on one leg. But the next Monday, when Miss Majestic Jones chooses special people to do special jobs, Sienna is chosen to be the messenger once again. At recess, George Papadopoulos shows his peach. "Never mind, Ruby Lee," he says. "There's nothing wrong with being the litter patrol officer." "Except for when you have to be the one all the time," says Ruby Lee. "But see how the birds all love you?" "Only because I saved them the best scraps." "Maybe next Monday," suggests George Papadopoulos. "You could try being very quiet and very still." The very next day, Sienna and Vienna are both away, which means, says Miss Majestic Jones, we will need to choose a different messenger. Forests of arms rise. Ruby Lee sits quiet and still as a statue. "Ruby Lee," asks Miss Majestic Jones, "would you like to be the messenger?" "Yes!" She leaps up. "Hark! It's me, Ruby Lee," she says. "Fear not, I am the bearer of good news." "Thank you," says Miss Majestic Jones. "Now go to the office with George Papadopoulos and ask if we may have the hall for singing after lunch. And don't dawdle." "Now, George Papadopoulos," says Ruby, "only the most intrepid of messengers will make it across the desert, past the spockled frockle wockle." "Oh, Ruby Lee," groans George Papadopoulos. "Hark!" says Ruby Lee. "Fear not." "Muddled," says Miss Majestic Jones. "What do you mean you've muddled the message?" "Was it before or after lunch?" asks Ruby Lee. "Oh, for goodness sake, take this note." "Now, George Papadopoulos," says Ruby Lee, "only the most valiant of messengers will make it over the mountains past the Squinker." "Oh, Ruby Lee," groans George Papadopoulos. "Hark!" says Ruby Lee. "Fear not." "Gone?" says Miss Majestic Jones. "What do you mean the note is gone?" "Perhaps it slipped out of my pocket," says Ruby Lee. "Oh, for goodness sake, this time let George carry it." "Now, George Papadopoulos," says Ruby Lee, "only the most ingenious of messengers will make it through the jungle, past the Schlurgle." "Oh, Ruby Lee," groans George Papadopoulos. "Hark!" says Ruby Lee. "Fear not." "Lost?" says Miss Majestic Jones. "What do you mean you've lost George Papadopoulos?" "Perhaps it was the Schlurgle." "The what?" "Oh, sit down, Ruby Lee," says Miss Majestic Jones. Adelaide Kiev will be the messenger for the rest of the day. At lunch, George Papadopoulos says, "Cheer up, Ruby Lee." "I'm sorry," says Ruby Lee. "I didn't even know you were stuck on the monkey bars. I'm just a good-for-nothing nobody." "Oh, Ruby Lee," says George Papadopoulos, "you're the very best somebody I know." Then, one afternoon, a pigeon flies into the classroom. Sienna squeals and squeals. "Wah-ya! Yeet-ah-yee!" And Vienna darts and dashes, flapping and flipping, while the pigeon swoops and loops, and even poops. The whole class shrieks and dives. "Yow!" Miss Majestic Jones cowers behind a desk. "Help!" cries George Papadopoulos. Ruby Lee leaps up. "Hark! It's me, Ruby Lee," she says. "Fear not." And taking a spare crust from her pocket, Ruby Lee holds it out. She stands quiet and still as a statue, until the pigeon alights upon her arm and she carries it gently out the door. On Monday mornings, Miss Majestic Jones chooses special people to do special jobs. Every week, Ruby Lee is a special emergency officer every single day. So in the beginning of the book, what did Ruby Lee want to be in the classroom? Why do you think it was difficult for Ruby Lee to get that job from her teacher? And then once she did get the job, why do you think she lost it again? At the end of the book, what job did she end up getting? Can you maybe relate to Ruby Lee? Anyways, that was Hark! It's Me, Ruby Lee, by Lisa Shanahan and Binny. If you liked the video, like and subscribe. Bye bye!